can y'all believe it? The internet is a talking, honey. And I got several people that can vouch this, okay? They are saying, Bart, don't you know the audio that we heard of Bart? Bart, oh my God, how could you, Bart? Did you unalive him, Bart? Talking about Nolan on the boat. Yes, we heard what we heard. And you know why we heard what we heard? Because God allowed it. God made it available. Well, let me tell you, these white boys and their parents and the mega and the Mississippi, they all have been working together. I'm talking about millionaire and big billionaires trying to protect these white boys to get away with unaliving a black boy, Nolan Wells. But God has intervened and he made it so fit that we heard the audio. Mind you, these white boys and girls did not know they were even being recorded. They did not know. They were just shocked out that Nolan was dead and not responsive. And they were all there. It was Wyatt there. It was who else? Will was there. I heard somebody say Will. There was Bart there, honey, Warren there, all the primetime white boys, they were there. So people are saying that Bart and Katie was a thing, okay? Now, do you guys believe that? Press 2 if you guys believe it. Press 5 if you feel like, you know what, I don't know about that. I need to see some more. I need to hear some more. So they are saying that is a motive why Bart was so jealous and started a conflict with Nolan. Now, we know for sure that Nolan had a conflict with one of the boys. I thought it was Wyatt. Now, people are starting to say it might have been Bart because the audio came out. God intervened, baby. I don't care what none of y'all said. None of us was expecting that audio to come out. The white folks, Mississippi, was trying to protect anything that would incriminate the white boys. But when God intervened, I don't care how much money you got. I don't care if you're a millionaire. I don't care if you're a MAGA. I don't care if you the president, close best friend. I don't care if you the DA examiner. God can move all that. And he did that, didn't he? It's by the grace of God that we heard that. Really, when you look at it, it's by the grace of God that we found that out. Now we know we have to use our common sense. We cannot be ignorant and dumb and act like we didn't hear what we heard. Ain't no going back. So people are on social media, they're pushing together, and I want to know y'all thoughts are. All right. So before I go on, honey, I got something to say, and then I want to put up some audio. And I want you guys to hear what people are saying around social media. I do have my girl here, Tamal, in the back, that's going to be joining us shortly. But, honey, I need y'all to look at me. And listen, at the screen, if you can't see me, hear me out. Because when I tell you, I've been sitting here for about 4 hours now. Honey, just staring at this laptop, and my hands still get to shaking, y'all. Not because I'm scared, because I'm pissed. Who else is pissed out there? Press 5 if you pissed. I am pissed. It was right there, y'all. Right there. The whole time, and we couldn't see it because they was throwing so much dust in our eyes, we was choking on lies. Woo! Nolan Wells, sweet baby. They didn't just kill him. They killed him over a girl. That's what I'm hearing. This Katie girl. Bart, honey, Bart, the girl he left behind when he went off to Wyoming to put football and get his little ESPN sponsorship. Because I don't know if y'all know, but Bart and Nolan was on the football team at the same time in high school, and Bart's supposed to be this promising football star. And y'all know how they get with the promising football star, right? These football stars, they can do no wrong. So the girl that, when he came back to Ocean Springs for the 4th of July, was supposed to be his. Only Nolan didn't get that memo. Or maybe he did, and maybe Nolan didn't give a care. And that girl was what got him killed. That is what people are saying. That's what got that baby thrown overboard like he was trash. Do you hear what I'm saying? Emmett Till all over again. And see, they tried to hide it. They tried to delete the picture of Katie and Bart all hugged up, looking all comfy. But every time, listen, everything lasts forever on the internet, baby. But remember when Ashley Cole told Bart and Wyatt to scrub everything off the internet? And they did, but I guess it's a few photos they forgot to scrub. But my queen's been saying Katie's brother had to get her, make sure she was safe. Now we know why. Now we know why Katie ain't been talking. Now we know why she hiding. Because she was the match that lit the whole fire. One of my queens said it. Katie had to have done that on purpose. Ain't no way. And another person said, I knew a girl had something to do with this shit. That's why they took his phone. They took his phone because they didn't want nobody to see what was on it. The text messages, the pictures, the proof that Katie was choosing Nolan over Bart. My goodness. Now, do y'all believe that's true? Press 3 if y'all believe it's true. Press 7 if you feel you need some more convincing. Okay? Now, let me walk you through this because I need you to see it how I see it. Javon, whatever his mom named him, that's what people are talking about. He gave an interview. And in that interview, he said the last time he saw Nolan was around 3 o'clock. And he said, and I quote, because I wrote this down, honey, he dabbled Nolan up. Remember, he said he dapped Nolan up and made a slick comment about the girl he was with. A slick comment while Katie was sitting right there. Now, what kind of slick comment you making about a girl while she's sitting right there? Unless the slick comment was, yo, that's Bart's girl. What you doing with Bart's girl? And then Warren said the same thing. He said he saw Nolan at 3 o'clock cradling a girl in his arms. Cradling? He said Katie. And then Warren said, this is the part that made me just stop breathing. He looked at Nolan and said, dude, you crazy. Dude, you crazy. Now, why would you say that? Why would you look a boy holding a girl and call him crazy? Unless that girl was forbidden fruit. Unless that girl belonged to another big dog. The 200-pound punter, okay? Yeah, they said Bart was 200 pounds, y'all. The hometown hero, the boy with the NFL future, and the daddy who runs pain management at the hospital. The boy who granddaddy played for the Florida Gators. That Bart, honey. And one of my queens in the comments said that cradling Katie comment meant a lot. Baby, it meant everything. Another one of my kings said, I knew it was because of Katie, because the guys didn't say anybody name besides her. Every time they said her name, they had some type of animosity. Y'all feel me? They couldn't even say her name without their face twisting up. That girl, Katie, honey, Warren said it. Warren said it, y'all. He said it with his whole chest. He said that girl, Katie, not our friend Katie, that girl, Katie. Like she was a problem. Like she was the reason. And she was. She was the reason a boy got his throat cut or his head bashed or whatever they did to him before they threw him in that damn water. And honey, and here is where these boys start slipping in their own mess. Bart came out the gate talking about, I've been in Montana for a whole year. I've been in Wyoming. Commenting on Instagram, on Facebook, acting like he wasn't nowhere near Horn Island on July the 4th, acting like he didn't know what nobody was talking about until that Marine Resources Division slipped up and put his name on the Freedom of Information request. And whose name was on the missing person report to the Coast Guard? Not Warren, the boy who claimed he called at 11:45 p.m. It was Bart. Bart, y'all, called at 10:05 a.m. on July 5th. Now, why would Bart, who wasn't even close with Nolan like that, why would he be the one reporting Nolan missing? While Warren was asleep, while Warren daddy had to wake him up, and then the Ceto audio, we all heard it. Somebody yelled, "Damn it, Bart." Did y'all hear that? Press a 3 if y'all remember. Damn it, Bart. Clear as day, baby. Clear as day. Bart was on that boat. Bart had his own boat, but he was on that boat. He was there, and the GPS location matched Fort Bayou, Bart's family house, private deck, pool in the backyard, and they were right there. And honey, my kings and queens been saying, Warren let it slip that Bart was there. No, baby, that audio let it slip. Bart let it slip. His own big mouth. One of my queens said it, honey. After somebody says, "Is he dead?" Somebody says, "Yup." You can hear somebody say, "Damn it, Bart." So no, Bart was on the boat. No point in playing crazy, y'all. Okay? Exactly. No point in playing crazy. So when we got you on tape, man, we got you on tape. And then Bart want to claim he didn't been on the island in a while. Remember that? Bart is a liar. A whole liar. And one of my kings said it, honey. Bart was on his boat. Bart was on his own boat. He came over to the other boat in which Nolan was on. But we can say the same thing for Warren too. Because remember, Warren said he went over there on somebody else's boat, which I believe is Bart. So Bart and Warren both came from their boat to Wyatt's boat, where Nolan was at Wyatt's boat. He was on Wyatt's boat. And they are saying they went over there to confront and beef with Nolan. That's why all the commotion started. Give me my phone back and all that stuff, all right? Nolan did not back down, y'all. Nolan did not back down. You see that. Nolan did not back down. And that right there made it cost him his life. And now, honey, I'm going to get to the part that really makes my stomach turn. Because my kings and queens, in the comments, y'all been paying attention. I'm proud of y'all. Y'all notice that Warren said Nolan was always trying to get on the boat with us. Did y'all notice that? Press 7 if you remember when Warren said Nolan was always trying to get on the boat with us. Always trying, like Nolan wasn't invited, like he was begging to come. And then Tristan said Nolan called him twice at 11 a.m. and he didn't even answer. Didn't answer. Not I missed it. He said he didn't answer. They was dodging him. Warren said on July the 3rd, Nolan spent the night at a mutual friend's house. Then July the 4th, Warren and Wyatt woke up, got breakfast, went to the dock without Nolan. They left him. And then when Nolan finally got there around 10:30, they treated him like a damn stray dog they were tolerating. And then on the island, every boy got something to say about Nolan being with Katie. Slick comments, shaking their head. Dude, you crazy. Because they knew. They knew Bart was coming. They knew Bart was back in town. They knew Bart was 21 years old, 200 pounds, and did not play about his girl. They set that boy up. They set him up like a bowling pin. Do you hear me? And one of my kings said, that means they set him up then. Bart came on a desperate boat to fight Nolan. You damn right. You damn right. He came on a separate boat to fight Nolan. Yes. Another queen said, Nolan is always trying to get on the boat with us, as if to say they don't invite him. Also, him saying that he demanded to stay behind was a red flag. Yes, they said that Nolan demanded to stay behind was a red flag. Who would stay behind without making sure you made an arrangement with someone to ride back when you don't have your own boat? Who? Indeed, I tell you who. A boy who is upset to stay. A boy who is upset to die. Honey, they set him up. And that's what it was. A boy who was upset, set up. Shit, I twist my words. A boy who was set up to stay. And he was set up to die. Nolan was set up, y'all. Press 7 if you believe that Nolan was set up to stay and was set up to die. And then, honey, they got the nerve to say, Nolan, nobody over 21 was on the boat. They got the nerve to say, nobody over 21 was on the boat. But Bart is 21. Bart is 21 years old. So why did they lie then? So if nobody over 21 was on the boat, then Bart wasn't on the boat. Then he wasn't on a boat. But we heard him on that damn boat. We heard him. Damn it, Bart. So which one is it? Either y'all lying about Bart's age or y'all lying about him being there. And we know which one it is. Y'all lied because if Bart was there and he's 21, then Bart supplied the alcohol too. And that's another charge on Bart. That's another reason to cover this all up. And honey, my queen's been asking. They've been asking the question that breaks my heart. The Nolan Wells narrative that I'm having trouble wrapping my head around isn't that he was left there. Fine. Maybe he wanted to stay. But supposedly, there were dozens of boats there. So every boat left him there by himself. He just waved goodbye to dozens of different boats until he was the last person standing on this island by himself with no phone. He didn't have a phone. They took his phone because they did not want him to call for help. Because they didn't want him recording, because they knew what was coming. And this is why the governor went in. This is why Ben Crump had to get involved, because Ocean Springs protects Ocean Springs. Trayvon said it himself. Javon said it himself. Ocean Springs gonna look out for Ocean Springs. And they looking out for Bart because he got the promising NFL career, because ESPN sponsors him, because his daddy is Bart Sr., was all SEC at Florida from 1992 to 1996, because his daddy runs the pain management at that damn hospital in Mississippi, because his grandfather was a Gator too. Okay? Because his father got legacy in Mississippi. And legacy means more than a black dead boy. Okay? Okay? Y'all feel that? Y'all feel what I'm about to say? Huh? One of my kings in the comments said Emmett Till 2026. And I felt that in my soul. Because this is how it happens. This is how it always happens. The hometown hero, the promising future, the girl, the boy who didn't know his place. Yeah, they said Nolan didn't know his place. The friends who cover it up because they scared, because they want to be down, because that's my buddy. Warren kept saying, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy. Not Bart, my buddy. Because he was trying to erase Bart from the damn story. But the internet do not forget. We don't forget. One of my queens said it. Internet undefeated in solving cases. You damn right. Another one said, this is a damn shame that the internet solved this case. But I'm glad we solved it. I'm glad y'all been in them comments piecing this stuff together because the police wasn't going to do it. The Coast Guard wasn't going to do it. The Marine Resources Division tried to hide the damn audio. But y'all found the picture. Y'all found the comments. Y'all found the lie. One of my kings said it, honey. You cracked the case. No, we cracked the case. Every last one of us. Ben Crump already sending, letters, subpoenas, court orders. The wrongful death suit is moving. And here's what I need y'all to understand. This ain't just about Nolan no more. This is about every time a town protects their golden boy over a black dead child. This is about every time a promising future means more than justice. And I need you to remember this feeling. Remember this rage, because we ain't stopping. We ain't letting this die. Not on my watch. Not on your watch. Nolan Wales deserves better, and we gonna make sure he gets better. Even if we gotta, I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there. Okay? I ain't gonna go there, y'all.